one of the biggest objections that we get when we talk to businesses is that they don't have any mobile numbers. You know, every business, we talk to some massive companies that have millions of emails, but they don't know how to collect mobile numbers from their customers. And this is an incredibly important thing because you can't really message someone if you don't have their number, obviously. So we think a lot about how we can productize different tactics for companies to collect numbers from their customers. And to that end, one of these products is what we're calling the click-to-text ad tool. And when Facebook Messenger created the same capability within their ecosystem, it's really what made Facebook Messenger into a viable channel to engage customers. So you could drive them from the feed into the messaging environment. Our vision with SiTO is to do that same process across the entire communications landscape, not specific to any one messaging app or on Facebook's newsfeed, but really everywhere. So it can be an ad on Facebook's newsfeed and jump into text. Anyway, I want to quickly give Sean here, who's Chief Strategy Officer at SiTO, an opportunity to tell us about it. Sean, why don't you introduce SiTO?
Testing. All right. So SiTO is a location intelligence firm. We are grounded in location data at its core. So if you think of kind of your cell phone and looking and enabling location services on it, we essentially are pulling in data from that in a privacy consent way that allows us to be able to understand foot traffic patterns and where people are going. The difference in SiTO and other platforms like it is we've gone through the process of dimensionalizing that data using human understanding to then take that information, make it not only segmented at the consumer level with the right type of information, but also addressable across different media platforms. So you think of activating this from a Facebook perspective, Snapchat perspective, pushing those audiences into Reddit or Google environments, as well as we have our own bidder that we've built out that allows that to happen. What we've done is we've partnered with OpenMessage that allows us to take what they've built from a product layer perspective and activate those media, those texts, those ads in a space that allows us to take the data, contextualize it to the point that we can actually push that media in an environment that isn't only inclusive into one platform, but addressable really anywhere. So I'll let you take it from there.
Amazing. So what are some of the different use cases that you think have the biggest potential with this product?
Yeah, so if you think about location data and where people are moving, you look at different industries like automotive, you think about entertainment, you think about subscription services. We're on the precipice of a big Disney push where they're going to be competing against Netflix and SVOD. How can we push those offers out from a texting platform where people are going to have a 90% engagement by being able to actually pick up on that, but using an ad unit itself to start driving those offers? They text, essentially they're going to jump into clicking an ad, interfacing with the ad, putting their name and phone number into it, and receiving a very exclusive offer as it associates with it. So using one location data to understand where people are they actually sitting at home? Are they on the move? If they got the ad in the wrong space, you're not going to activate on it. If you're thinking about from a conquesting perspective, let's say we take McDonald's and Burger King. I can identify that somebody's in a McDonald's and I want to hit them with some kind of a Burger King ad, be able to collect that information onto them. And then when they're kind of en route to a restaurant or thinking about from a habitual location perspective what they're going to do for dinner tonight, we can start actually serving them advertising that allows us to give them specific offers in time and space. So it creates a different level of dimensionalization and actionability around the actual text unit itself and the ad unit itself that starts tying that together in a way that makes it more receptive to the user to be able to actually click the ad for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about how really today there aren't all too many flows in terms of acquisition from an ad unit. You might be able to drive someone to a website or to an app, but with this product, you can now take them into the messaging environment, which is really a brand new concept. Really, it's only existed within Messenger and WhatsApp. So really excited about it.
Yeah.
Now, beyond subscriptions and QSR and retail, you also have some background working within the political realm too.
Yeah.
Where do you see this going there?
I mean, on the political side, I mean, one of the things I'm sure that in the last election campaign, everybody got a bunch of texts about, supporting somebody or doing something within that space. Some cool things that we've been able to do with location data is help us understand, who those individuals that are actually in the household that are going to polls, those that aren't, how we can start activating different users at the voter level who aren't necessarily going into polling locations, but give them some kind of a reason to go from a messaging perspective, understand what their core values are, and then driving to those values with the right type of information in more of a messaging format that's going to hit them a little bit harder than it would a television ad or another type of display ad in a political forum.
And within the ad itself, I mean, how do you see it calling the customer to action? Do you see it having some sort of button like text me? How do you feel the creative might end up looking?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's different ways. One of the things when you think about media and creative is creating a level of attraction and retention that allows that person to actually take action. Oftentimes, kind of the normal call to actions are not necessarily what you want to go after. So the great thing about working with a company, like ours or any other company that has data associated with the different calls to action that take place is the fact that we actually have the ability to understand what motivates people. So we can dynamically change that creative in a way that has people engage at a higher level.
Amazing. All right, well, we have a final panel here on advancing advertising, so I'm going to call Bonin back up to introduce our next speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.